Welcome back. Back from the Northern Tour, Flying Fijians coach Inoke Male has highlighted key areas that need to be addressed ahead of the World Cup qualifier against Cook Islands. One is the scrum and the other is our player releases during international fixtures.
Back home last night, Flying Fijians coach Inoke Male didn't waste time, highlighting exactly what needs fixing.
We have to get our scrum coach early in the season to get our boys to practice the scrum, the fundamental of the scrums.
That was a key area that led to the 43-19 drubbing from the Barbarians last weekend at Twickenham.
That's our main weakness in the tour. That's some of the points we need to address before we play the qualifying rounds against Cook Islands.
Fiji could never match the Barbers' power and pace and were forced to celebrate their centenary without a host of top players from the French and British clubs. That left the side frustratingly undercooked.
Doing that, making the discussion, they should have gone to a club and asked the club for the release of this place. If we could have get the permission for the club for this place to play for the union, it would be better for the Barbarian game.
Male admitting they could have ended the tour on a higher note following wins over Portugal and Romania and a narrow loss to Italy.
We were really having difficulties getting players for the Barbarian games because in the early discussion of the game, it was not done through the clubs. So that's why the clubs didn't know that about the Barbarian games, so they didn't release their players for the Barbarian games.
That being said, the focus turns now to Cook Islands for the Oceania World Cup qualifiers.
As we started the tour, we were in the 13th position after the PNC. So when we finished the tour, we were on 11th in the IRB ranking.
The side takes a short break over Christmas before preparations begin for that one-off crucial match. William Tambuya, Fiji One News.
New Zealand number 8 Kieran Reid has been named the IRB Player of the Year 2013, the third Kiwi to win the prestigious award. The 28-year-old has enjoyed a fantastic year in the heart of the All Blacks pack and played no small part in ensuring his team went through 2013 with a perfect record. His influence has been huge, as demonstrated by his workload in the scrum, line-out, his tackling, his ability to compete in the air and at the breakdown, not to mention the tendency to be in the right place at the right time when it comes to creating or scoring tries. He has played 61 tests for New Zealand, the majority of them in the back row, alongside Richie McCaw, and is now the most prolific try-scoring number 8 in world rugby. Canterbury Rugby may have missed out on hosting an All Blacks test next year, but it's been revealed they've been handed the next best thing. The Crusaders will play their first ever international game against England at AMI Stadium in Christchurch on June 17th.
This is a historic match and a lot of interest in English rugby. They've been performing well at home. The last 2 test matches with the All Blacks have generated a lot of interest.
The Crusaders' match against the Sharks in Twickenham back in 2011 is believed to have played a part in securing this new game.
We probably wouldn't have had otherwise, so I'm sure it all adds a layer of influence.
However, with the English club finals set down for the weekend before the first test at Eden Park next June, the All Blacks look destined to face another weakened England side. Fiji 7's Emosi Mulevoro has been voted as the fans' favourite from last weekend's Dubai Sevens. Fiji had 2 tries in the 7 nominees, both set up by Pio Tuwai, and although Benito Masilevu's try received a lot of votes, it was Mulevoro's effort in the 44-0 semi-final defeat of New Zealand that won. On this year's HSBC Sevens World Series, fans will once again have their chance to get involved through social media by voting on their favorite try from each of the 9 rounds.
First of all, when I saw Pio was coming along, so I had to pass the ball to him, and then he shouted and called me again to come around. He was saying in a Fijian language, "There we remain." So I just go around him. I knew he will be flick the ball epic.
Each of the 9 individual round winners will then go into a final vote at the end of the season for an overall fans' favourite try of the season, which is won by Pedro Leal of Portugal last season.
coach knew that some amazing try going to be done, because he's got some players with good skills like Pio and someone like Wise and all. We have trusted each other, so we're going to get some more try like that this weekend.
Ben Ryan is expected to unleash more tries this weekend as the side has settled well into the fine Port Elizabeth weather ahead of the South Africa Sevens this weekend. This is a picture from Twitter of the Englishman himself working the national side early yesterday morning. The side is expected to go through 2 scrimmaging sessions against Samoa and Canada later this week.
Hugely pleased for the boys. They've been so easy to work with. They're doing everything I've asked them to do, and they're learning fast, so this is a great start point.
Reigning Fiji Football Club champions GM United have been grouped with 4R Electrical in the preliminary stages of the National Club Championship 2013. This year's winner just last year will either be from the south or the west.
For the second straight season, the North are the biggest losers at the National Club Championships draws.
There should be a total of 8 teams qualifying. There's none from Lambasa, North, no teams qualifying from North.
Fiji FA going ahead with what they're saying was an avoidable situation.
I don't think they've completed their local league. We had sent in invitations, and I know definitely Lambasa has not done it. The 1 or 2 smaller clubs did it, but they did not respond. It's not a question of penalizing, but we will see what has gone wrong and why they're not coming.
This then saw only teams from the south and west go in for the draw. With the north out of this year's NCC, that gives an extra spot each to the south and the west. That means each will send 4 teams to the finals playoffs. The southern draw saw clubs from Navuo Lami, Nasinu Rewa and Talevo Nitasiri grouped into 4 pools of 3 teams as League FC tops Pool 1. For the west, the first group is a pool of death with reigning champs 4R with GM, who's also from Ba. 5 places will be confirmed later this evening.
There's an appeal between Namaka Football Club, Gandhi Sports Club and DCA. So whoever qualifies from there will come as Pool 2.
There's also 4 appeals in Lautoka. Whichever teams qualify, the Fiji FA is hopeful they will finish the competition.
The important thing to note, gentlemen, is the teams that have entered now, once they qualify, they will have to proceed to the second stage. There's no withdrawal. If you decide to withdraw, then you face the consequences.
The Crease Signs NCC kicks off this Sunday with the first prize money of $3,000 to be won. William Tambuya, Fiji One News.
And the police soccer team is so serious about their Sukuna Bowl match against Army that they've sorted warm-up matches with an international side. This morning they played the Tuvalu football team, who are on their way home from an 11-week training camp in Holland, where they played 25 matches against clubs.
It's all part of our Tuvalu National Football Association development to be, and our bid to be a member of FIFA. So it is an exposure tour for the boys.
This lot is also part of Tuvalu's build-up to the 2015 Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea.
On average, they are around 18 to 20 years old. Our youngest players, we have 2 youngest players, they are 16, 17 years old.
And diminutive striker Roy Krishna already has 1 FIFA Club World Cup to his name, but believes this year's edition is his chance to finally get on the scoreboard. The former Lambasa striker departed for Spain and Morocco as FIFA's Club World Cup begins next week. First stop, a warm-up game in the Mecca of football, Barcelona.
The fanfare from the faithful.
Listen to the big city. We're supporters of the City football team, and we're going to go hard in Morocco this coming weeks. And look out, world, we're coming out.
The amateur players the world needs to look out for include a trainee electrician, an account manager, a foreign exchange dealer and a sports shop owner, ready to take on some of the best professionals in the world.
It's a little bit surreal. I mean, we are 2 wins away from playing Bayern Munich.
Sharing a famous name at least is Chris Bale, no relation sadly to Real Madrid's $300,000 a week Gareth Bale, but the Aucklander does share an ability to score goals.
Through Chris Bale's made the run, first touch, volley! 3-0.
The 31-year-old Welshman looking at a career highlight in Morocco.
To go play in a tournament like this on the world stage, there's not many people in the world that can do that.
One dream is to catch a scout's eye.
Best case scenario, someone's going to get spotted and have a brighter future ahead of them.
A lot of players they've got dreams of going pro, so they really have to lift the game, and it's a bit of a cliche, but play the games of their lives, basically.
And Ricky van Steeden is proof dreams can come true, netting the winner that earned Auckland 5th place at the Club World Cup in 2009.
We've got some history there and something that can prove to the players that are in our group now that, you know, it's been done before, and hopefully we can replicate that.
Auckland warm up against famed La Liga side Espanyol in Barcelona before opening in Morocco against Raja Casablanca on Thursday week.
The 2014 NRL draw is out, and with it, gifted utility back Jared Hayne has revealed he will play fullback under new Parramatta coach Brad Arthur after finishing Australia's triumphant Rugby League World Cup campaign in the centres. Hayne finished joint top try scorer for the tournament with Kangaroos teammate Brett Morris. Capable of influencing games from fullback, wing and even 5/8, Hayne ended the World Cup in the centres where he played his junior football. His form there prompted talk he might be considered there for next year's New South Wales State of Origin team. And our women basketball team finished 5th at the 2013 Pacific Championships in Wellington after edging Samoa 61-58 this evening. Our men's team finished 6th after being beaten 73-54 by New Caledonia. And the Black Caps' first international of the summer against West Indies in Dunedin. Batting first, New Zealand has made a super start with under-fire captain Brandon McCullum and former skipper Ross Taylor leading the way. McCullum, in fact, breaking a 3-year drought.
A man under an injury cloud and, even more pressing, immense pressure to score. Brendan McCullum, in his 80th consecutive test since his debut, responded in the best way he knows how.
Shot. That'll do very nicely, and that'll be 50. Gone. Big time. He's used his feet beautifully today.
The under siege skipper defiant and back to his destructive best as he roared to his first test century in 3 years.
And there it is, Brendan McCullum. Just guides it down to wide mid-on, the players on their feet, everyone here in Dunedin on their feet.
McCullum's 7th test 100 coming off 101 balls. It featured 13 fours and 3 sixes. The 32-year-old not alone in his efforts, an unbeaten 182-run partnership with the man he replaced as skipper, putting the Black Caps on the front foot.
In wide, short, 4 runs. 50 up for Ross Taylor.
Ross Taylor surviving a review to notch up his first 100 since losing the captaincy last year.
Taylor will get a fine and he'll get 100 as well. You see, well, it'll go down to the fence.
Incidentally, his last century also came the last time New Zealand won a test. The pair not the only ones to show some fighting spirit. Hamish Rutherford belting his way to 50.
And that is a terrific way to bring up Test match 50.
But he fell on 62. Enter Aaron Redmond in his first test showing in 5 years. It didn't last long.
Oh, got him.
By the day's end, he'd be the only one not to pass 50. Peter Fulton with a fighting half-century too. His dismissal only serving to bring together 2 of the day's best. What a difference a year can make.
And that's all from the sports desk tonight. Back to you, Vili.
Thanks, Drew. Stay with us. World news from our global news partner CNN. That's after the break.